All right, folks. We're talking about Yuketen today. These are my Yuketen Angler boots in a chocolate brown Italian rough out. They've got a black Vibram Christie sole, and these are hand welted by leather artisans in the great state of Maine, USA. I really, really love Yuketen. They're an artistic, special brand. They're 20 fall winter 2025 26 run is just insane. So are the prices, by the way. We're very much worth acknowledging. But I've been saying that they are the Viberg of the hand-sewn Maine moccasin boot world. And maybe you could argue like Easy Mock is the Truman, albeit with a slightly less controversial CEO. Anyway, shout out to Vince. This is one of those just appreciation videos. I think it's important for all of us to appreciate the boots that we have instead of always looking on Instagram and Reddit or whatever the heck about the boots. Seeing the boots we do not have, and that's really important. It's important for all of us, whether you have one beautiful pair of boots or if you have more than one. Still, the desire to get more, consumerism, does not wane. So it's important to regardless of, no matter how much you need another pair of boots, really to appreciate the one you have. And these boots, I first broke them in the wonderful city of New Orleans, and that's when I first wore them. And no, they were really comfortable. I walked all around. I was staying in Bywater, and I walked all around all the way to the French Quarter and around the World War II museum there, and just but these have been very, very comfortable. They're kind of like a big sock, just soft, genuine hand-sewn moccasin construction. They've got this beautiful bumper with just this stunning pinking here as well. Yuketen just kind of does what a moccasin does, but to an artistic level and an intention to design that is just impeccable and unparalleled, truly. They also make quite a few boots now in Italy in this incredible factory where they're just making truly works of art. Now, most of their boots are just wildly expensive. I don't need more boots, of course, and I'm not going to be spending $1,000 on more boots, but they have this like new mountain alpine hiker boot that's just right up my alley for $1,000, and it's just beautiful, and man, that's a dream boot. But I'm not going to buy it because it's just too much money. These I got at Mr. Porter. They're on sale, praise God, and that that's what validated me buying these. In general, I keep an eye out on Mr. Porter. Now, back in the day, my God, you see these ghost posts from a few years ago on Reddit, 2020, 2019, where Yuketen was just, they were offloading their boots to 6 p.m. and Zappos and all that for nothing. And back then, you could get a really nice Yuketen boot for $150 sometimes on sale, or $100. It was just insane. But regardless of the price, these are works of art, and I do think they are worth an upcharge. They are much nicer than anything Quaddy or Raincourt is making. They truly are moccasins to the next level. The attention to detail, the craftsmanship. Now, just to prove this, Yuki Masada or something, I forget his last name. He is Yuketen and also Monatelli, and he's a very charismatic, beautiful figure. There's an interview with him on the Stitch Down podcast, which I highly recommend. He's kind of like he's a shaman or I don't know. He's just a beautiful artist, really. If you follow him on Instagram, which I do, he is constantly posting just videos and photos of the inside of boots that he is getting from the factories, from the makers. And he's posting them like, this is beautiful and I really like this, but he's not doing it in a way of like, look how high quality it is. Like, this is what I expect, this is what I want, and this is what I love. There's like a palpable passion in the craftsmanship and in how he runs, how he works with his factories and his artisans and his craftsmen, and what he demands. and his ideas. And it's just palpable. It's like he's more excited about having them built to be a beautiful way than to tell you how beautiful they're built. You know, it seemed like there's a vibe of like that's more important. And there you go. Now these are the opposite of patina machines. I've wore these a ton, and you can barely tell. But I've worn these a lot. But that's about all you can tell is just the worn down Christie. Slightly worn down. But they're just extremely comfortable, extremely durable. This leather is ridiculously nice. It's just a very, very supple rough out, really thick pull tabs. Now, I have heard for some people that you could tell me that they come in an E width. That's just their standard. And it is a little bit close. It's like between a D and an E width, technically. But I could have gone a half size down in general. But I like my Yuketens fitting a little bit larger. They also have an inner leather insole with a shank that is lightly glued down that you can rip out. Purposely, they lightly glue it, but you could pull it out and put in your insert if you'd like. Yeah, I've heard that for some people their sizing it doesn't work well. For me, they do. They also serve a certain purpose. For me, when I wear a pair of Yuketen hand sews, I don't know. I wear a thicker sock, and I'm also I want a slightly looser fit, a slightly less structured fit. Yeah, so I really love Yucatan. It's a tough sell because of how expensive they are, but if they are on sale, or if you find like a new old stock or genuinely barely used on eBay or something, I think they're an amazing deal. Anything $300 or $400 or less, they're an incredible deal. When you get closer to their asking price, they're still an amazing deal, but they're still a great boot, but it's just it's just tough. It's tough spending that much on a boot. It's tough. It's tough spending on that much on just an off the shelf, off the rack boot that ultimately, hand-sewn moccasins are not going to have the same durability as, say, a Pacific Northwest boot. They're just different. They're built different. They have a different purpose, different goal. Those Italian alpine hiker boots that I don't even know if they're out yet. They're on the Yuketen website and Instagram. Those are like, you could almost argue, I mean, they're worth $1,000 because find me another boot that looks like that. Man, oh man, those are so cool. But I love these boots. I love the chocolate rough out, very supple, very soft, but still robust. And again, they are extremely durable, so I think they're a really, really fine maker, and they're worth noticing, worth paying attention to. So there you go. Yucatan Angler boots. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day.